Hey everybody, welcome to the Holtcast for 7500tohold.com. I'm Jack Grimsey. Alongside me, as usual, Robert Lintott, one of our other semi-regulars on the pod, actually, James Rushton. It's his birthday, so we want to say happy birthday, James. And I hope you could stay off your phone for more than 5 minutes at dinner with your girlfriend. So, yeah, Robert tells me that we're gonna start having ads now. So if you're listening, we apologize for that. If you're watching on YouTube, you won't have to hear that. So maybe if you really don't like them, you can just watch on YouTube. So now I'm gonna leave a 5-second pause so Robert can insert the ad after the show. Hey, Robert, how's it going? Let's get back
it's going wonderfully. That wasn't how I envisioned it at all, but I think that works wonderfully. I kind of like the call out of the impending ad.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, who did it? Richard Sherman or someone, when someone sponsored him to tweet something about some NFL event they were having. The PR person said, "Hey man, could you tweet this at this certain time?" And he tweeted, "Hey man, can you tweet this?" And then the phrase in there. I don't know. I thought it was hilarious.
That's fantastic. I'm okay with that. So good work. Welcome back to the Holtcast, though. It's episode 84.
Oh yeah, getting up there. Next one will be a special one. But yeah. Anyways, we're doing another beer podcast, and this actually is not sponsored, even though Robert thinks it should be.
Give us money and/or beer, Ballast Point, and we will continue to drink your beer and praise it to high heaven.
Yeah. What do you got? Another Sculpin, Robert?
Got another Sculpin, and you've got the.
I have the Victory at Sea, which is ironically the opposite of Aston Villa's season. They're going down. I mean that.
I think the skeleton on the front is pretty apt.
Yeah, that's pretty appropriate. It's Rémi Garde in 2 weeks, I guess.
So yeah, you've got a dead ship captain, and I've got a bottom feeding fish. That we've got the perfect Aston Villa beers.
It's your beer, my lord. It's your beer.
That's it. If we don't hear from you soon, Ballast Point, I hear that Bell's does wonderful sponsorships.
Yeah, and anyways, if you're still listening, we're actually going to talk about Aston Villa, even though there's not a whole lot to talk about. First and foremost, no Villa this week. Yay!
Yeah. I was pretty excited.
So no game, but yeah, we're gonna get to last week's game. It was miserable. Villa really should have won. Season's already over, but it still would be nice to win a couple more games this year.
Yeah, the worst part of last week was just like the day before. I had written that article, like, here's how they could do their great escape. And they went and screwed the pooch on the first try. Oh,
thanks for jinxing Villa, Robert.
Yeah, it is my fault. I take the blame. I apologize.
But yeah, let's start with the first order of business, I guess. Tom Fox is no more.
Yeah, I did.
So maybe he's actually the skeleton.
I didn't see that coming so quickly. I had a feeling it would happen, but I did not think it was going to happen before the season was over.
No, and the new board members have been appointed, and the leadership is going in a different direction now, obviously, with Bernstein. Like you said, I didn't think Garde was going to get the axe, or excuse me, if Fox was going to get the axe then, and I don't think Rémi Garde's going to get the axe now, though, contrary to what a lot of people are saying.
Yeah, I'm a little intrigued to see what happens there. I mean, Steve Hollis has made it clear that he's going to take no crap from nobody, and that he's cleaning house.
Which is great.
Yeah.
The house needs to be cleaned, and if Rémi Garde is not confident he can do the job, whatever, I would like to keep him, but, sometimes...
The house not only needs to be cleaned, it needs to be doused with gasoline and burned to the ground.
Yeah, and then they consult the earth after.
Build a new house.
Oh wait, Sherwood already did that.
Oh God. Yeah, I mean, he's made it clear though that he's changing things around here. Hendrik Almstadt went just before Tom Fox, and so there are the two big Arsenal connections. We bring in Tom Fox to be the guy, and he brings in Almstadt, and they're gone.
You can almost say Rémi Garde's in Arsenal connection because he's worked under Wenger and is seen by many, or was seen as hopefully the replacement for Arsene Wenger in due time, in maybe 5 years or something, when he had Villa challenging for the Europa League or something. That's never going to happen.
Yeah, I think he scuttled that plan this year, and his team scuttled that plan this year. Here's the question that I have about the Tom Fox firing. Like, you and I both said we thought it was probably going to be an end of the season thing. Does it actually accomplish anything to do it now?
No, I mean, it somewhat appeases the fans.
All right. And,
a lot of fans were just saying Fox has to go, Garde has to go, everyone has to go. At least you took off somebody's head and you gave it to them for the day, maybe.
Yeah. And do you think that's their kind of move that's worth it?
I'm not sure how much the buyout was for Fox, but possibly. I mean, Fox wasn't a football man, and that's what a lot of people have been saying. That's what's needed on the board, and I think it's good to see Bernstein come in and and Hulls is trying to improve the board, but I'm not exactly sure it accomplishes a whole lot at this point.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Fox was doing because it seems pretty clear.
I don't know. This is kind of going to be a weird theory, but maybe if Fox was restricting Garde's purse strings maybe in the transfer window more than Lerner, and maybe Hollis wants to keep Garde.
That could be.
And so getting rid of Fox, I don't know, because then again, if you're dumping him because you like it's different because it's a manager, but you can't ask the manager to hire his boss.
Yeah.
No way.
I guess my issue with that theory would be all of the rumors swirling around the idea that we're in negotiations to let go of Garde before the season is even over.
Yeah, and I think if that was the case, we would have done it because, we don't have a match this weekend. Then you can get someone in and start training them even one day earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It's stupid to fire someone, though, because we're going down. And no one's keeping us up, and paying Garde's buyout is dumb, and that's some money you could spend on another player that, I don't know, that Garde maybe would want or actually be able to use.
We're still going to have to give him a buyout, though, because his contract was for more than just this season. So if he's gone now or at the end of the season, I imagine his buyout is largely the same. I guess, just to play devil's advocate here, why not bring someone new in so they get a chance to see with whom they work well and with whom they don't?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine if you're planning on replacing someone anyways. If you're waiting to the summer to see if Garde is maybe going to walk, maybe going to stay, or maybe you're going to fire him then get rid of him now. And bring someone else in. Bring someone else in who can evaluate the squad, who has a trial period with absolutely nothing to lose, and then just go from there.
Okay, so let's pin this down here. Two questions. Do you think Garde will leave before the season, or be sacked, whatever, before the season is over? And do you want Garde to leave, be sacked, whatever, before the season is over?
Do I think he will go? Maybe. It's really hard to determine if the reports are true and what the board is actually thinking, because we really have no idea what's going on inside the boardroom. But according to Stan Collymore, Rémi Garde's going to be gone. I think I would be disappointed, just mostly, more than anything, because when Rémi Garde came in, I really wanted him to succeed. Obviously, that's gone down the drain. But yeah, do I want him to stay? I do, but I'm edging closer to wanting to see him go. I mean, we haven't seen anything from this team, from the players, from that side of it. We're going to get to that later, but you can't pin it all on the manager.
Yeah, except at the same time, will I agree that you can't pin it on the manager? I mean, this group of players have been incredibly uninspired for the entire season. There comes a point at which 2 wins out of his entire tenure here is a barely tenable position to hold.
Yeah, well, probably. I mean, statistically, he'll go down as the worst Villa manager in history, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Permanent.
His win ratio is second to everyone.
Yeah, it's like not even second last to anyone.
Yeah, no, he's going to be terrible. I don't know. I'm a little torn. I really like the idea of keeping Rémi Garde around, but it seems pretty clear at this point that he feels like he's done with the club. It seems pretty clear at this point the club and the players feel like they're done with Rémi Garde. I really like the guy, but I think it's time for him to go. And I do sort of like the idea of bringing someone in to get them 2 months with this set of players. See who they want to ditch in the summer. Probably most of them, but see who they want to ditch. See who they can work with in the summer.
Yeah, I think if there's even a 50-50 chance, say you're from the Villa board's perspective that you think Garde could walk or that you could fire him, just dump him now. Get someone else in.
The question then
from that standpoint, like even if I want Garde to stay, whatever, maybe it's not the right move, but yeah, like you're saying, who's the right move? If you look at the bookies, they have no idea, which is why I think that Garde maybe will stay, or that they just think it will be a surprise appointment. But a lot of the names at the tip of the fans' lips are on the back page of the paper. Nigel Pearson, formerly of Leicester City. Steve Bruce. Where was he last? Hull City?
I think so.
Sunderland?
Yeah.
I don't know. David Moyes, formerly of Everton and more recently Real Sociedad, but obviously Moyes was never going to work out in Spain.
I was going to say, way to leave out kind of a big page in Moyes' resume there.
Oh.
His 1 year stint at Old Trafford.
Kind of forgot that even happened because that's hilarious.
Yeah, Bruce is at Hull City, even right now.
Still at Hull City, okay.
Yeah,
so
still at Hull City. But yeah, I don't blame you for forgetting that 1 year at Old Trafford.
Moyes wishes he could forget that 1 year. I mean, Hull are fourth. They're going to be in the promotion playoff. They're probably not going to catch Brighton.
Yeah.
Although they have a game in hand, so if they win that, they'll just be 2 points back. So maybe why wouldn't he stay with them in the Premier League, or would they dump him and get somebody else?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I feel like
it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, they would stay with him, and if they do get promoted, why in the hell would he leave them to go to a championship side after just getting promotion?
Yeah, exactly. Even if Villa are going to be the biggest club in championship history or whatever everyone was saying, or whatever, who cares?
Yeah.
Still terrible.
Nigel Pearson is the one that is, to me, the most tantalizing and the least tantalizing simultaneously. He brings a lot of good credentials. He brings a lot of experience with clubs in dire situations, but he also brings so much controversy with him, and he seems like such a jackass.
Yeah, too much baggage for me, and I genuinely just don't like him because I think he's a bad person.
Yeah, absolutely. I find that hard to disagree with.
It's like people, I mean, I guess it's different having Jamie Vardy, but people are like, wouldn't you rather have Vardy at Villa? And honestly, no. But, if he was at Villa and it was guaranteed that we would have stayed up, I would say yes, because
that's my thing.
Person.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a moral relativist. I understand that my sports and my morals are not in sync with one another.
Yeah, but Villa being relegated is legitimately life-changing, so.
Yeah. If you told me that having Jamie Vardy or having Nigel Pearson or having both of them could save Villa right now, I'd say, sure, I'll take that devil's deal.
Yeah, whatever. Every man has his price.
Yeah, and my price is survival, apparently.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy. I don't know. I guess my biggest issue with bringing in a new manager is who would it be? I don't love the idea of Moyes. Steve Bruce, I don't know. That does nothing for me, especially since I really can't see that one happening. And the Nigel Pearson things, that, like you said, there's so much baggage there. And beyond those three, who else would you bring in?
Exactly. It's anyone's game. I know even K-Mac is at 8-1 odds. I think Bruce, Pearson, and Moyes were all about 5-1. Kevin McDonald,
If Kevin McDonald,
I don't think that would ever happen. He's just a name that's associated with Villa because he's at Villa, but he's never going to get the permanent manager job.
If Kevin McDonald becomes the manager, then 7500 will become a Scunthorpe blog. We'll just keep our colors and blog about some other team because no, that sounds horrible to me.
Yeah, there's a pretty good root word in Scunthorpe, actually.
Well, herp, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, I keep drinking this with the label the wrong way out. Sorry, I need to.
Oh, come on, Robert. What are you doing? All right. Anyways, let's try to focus again here for Swansea. Swansea City, they beat Villa 1-0. They scored with their only shot on target. And would you even consider it a shot?
I no, maybe it was a shot. It should have never been a shot that scored, except
That
for
Guzan
Brad.
punched into him?
No, I don't know.
It was really hard to tell if Guzan punched the ball into the player or if the player made contact because Guzan
I
had
think
feet that were made out of
Guzan.
50 kilogram stone blocks, and he just couldn't move. He was rooted to his spot. He was the slowest reaction I've ever seen.
The slowest reaction, but then he moved so far. And just
Yeah,
made
because his
himself.
starting position was so bad.
Yeah,
He
it
shouldn't
just.
have been that far back in his line. He was never going to get chipped for the goal from that distance.
Mm-mm.
It was just terrible goalkeeping.
And I think he totally whiffed on the punch. I watched it a few times, and I thought he just whiffed.
You could have at least got the guy's face.
He's. Good God. At this point, why not just start someone from the youth setup? Because Bun's not great.
Yeah, put in Matita
is
Sarkic.
Guzan is
Whatever.
a literal steaming pile of crap right now.
He just can't be bothered.
No, not even a little bit.
He made some good saves, like a couple games ago or something, and then when we still conceded goals, he was like, why would I try? Why would I try?
Yeah, I mean, more than almost any other position, I think that's the spot where I would just say, screw it. Here, youth team keeper, have a go. And I know people will hate that because keepers are the ones with the most confidence issues, and if you screw them over, they're screwed for life.
My argument.
Yeah, was that you?
Yeah, usually. I don't know, put in Benji Segrist. I'm past caring at this point. Who cares?
Yeah. Because Bun is useless. Why not? Oh, God. It makes me so angry every time I see Guzan. Angry second only to seeing Lescott on the team sheet.
Yeah, but at least Guzan was our hero at one point. That can make you angrier. Lescott is captain, though. Come on, Rémi Garde. Come on.
God. Makes me so. I legitimately hate Julian Lescott.
Yeah.
No.
But hey, Lescott, if you give me your car, you will be my favorite player.
Or if your butt just gives me your car accidentally while it's driving.
Oh, sorry. I just did a bank transfer with my butt to Robert Lintott.
I'm rich, lads. I don't need that Ballast Point sponsorship anymore.
I'm buying their brewery. Oh, wait.
We're changing it to Lescott Point.
Oh, my God. Oh, no.
Every brew we make just misses a little bit.
So, I mean, that's kind of all I have to say about Swansea. I guess really the only thing we have to look forward to this season is maybe Adama.
Yeah.
If he maybe cares about getting sold to somewhere else.
And even if he doesn't, I'm kind of intrigued to see what he has to offer and if we can keep him for the championship. He could be lethal in the championship.
Oh, yeah. I think you play him as a second striker behind Rudy Justed, and you let him run right through the center past everyone's slow 33-year-old center backs who have like 6 pace.
Or why not play a 2-winger setup? I mean, I know Scott Sinclair is like the Brad Guzan of wingers right now.
Yeah, but Scott Sinclair has championship experience.
Yeah, but I mean, play Sinclair.
Championship experience, Robert, that's invaluable.
But play Sinclair just so you have a chance to play Adama out on that right wing. Because he would be so good as a winger. And I'm just so dreading the idea of playing him out of his natural position.
I think he's a pace merchant and is a freak that, a really strong center back he could match him pound for pound. I mean, like.
Yeah, but I feel like he does better coming up from the wings and then cutting in for that kind of a move rather than starting in the middle and trying to maze his way up.
Yeah, but if he didn't have to cut it, I think he can just run by people, honestly. Okay. He wouldn't have to cut in. It would put him at a better angle to shoot, really.
They could.
Because then you could play Grealish and Sinclair because there's no way Carlos Hill is staying with this team, is there?
Oh, no. Although, now that you say Grealish, screw Sinclair out on the wing, put Grealish out on the left wing.
Yeah, Grealish on the left and maybe Sinclair on the right or someone else on the right.
No, I'm saying put in a striker and then Grealish on the left wing and Adama out on the right wing.
Oh,
I'd be intrigued to see that, actually.
Then if you could keep Ghana, then the midfield would be okay, and maybe you have Gary Gardner and everyone says Carlos Sanchez is going to get sold, but who's going to buy him?
Yeah, he hasn't played in 2 months now.
MLS can only buy so many players. Even if China has 1.1 million to offer Ibrahimovic per week, there's it's not enough money to pay everyone in Villa.
Yeah. I had forgotten that Adama was coming back. Thank you for giving me some small amount of hope to give a damn.
Maybe not hope, but at least a figure of entertainment.
God, could you imagine if he and Amavi came back at the same time? Oh.
Yeah. If Amavi can stay, I don't know, maybe next season.
God, I can't wait to watch Amavi again. He was so much fun.
Yeah, well, it'll be so much fun next year for someone in the Champions League.
It'll be interesting because if we can keep a few of those young players and make some right moves, I'm not sure this team will be any good in the championship, but I think they could be a hell of a lot of fun to watch.
You just need one star to get promoted. I remember watching the championship playoffs a couple years ago, and Wilfred Zaha single-handedly carried Crystal Palace to the Premier League.
Yeah, but I mean, for the entire season, you're going to need more than one person to carry.
Oh yeah, but I mean, if you can just sneak your way into 6th, who knows? Anything's possible.
If Villa could just sneak their way into 17th.
Yeah, I mean, you just need a fresh start.
I don't buy the idea of Villa sneaking their way into anything.
Not at this point, and why would you?
No,
but
I think they could be fun to watch. For the 3 matches, we'll get to see them next year.
Yeah, the championship will be fun. There's going to be goals. There's going to be a lot of games. Villa are going to win, and hopefully most of them.
$10 says that for the 3 matches we get to watch Villa next year are the 3 most injury-prone matches of the year.
Oh, don't say that.
Shit, lads. Dom is out. We've got to play Gabby today.
Yep. Well, let's get to Twitter questions because
we've got a lot of them.
Had one from the birthday boy James Rushton, and we'll start with that. Let's see if Gabby ate himself, would he get fatter or disappear? And the classic chicken egg situation.
Very good question. God, he'd get fatter.
Would you eat your foot if you could put ketchup on it? It's kind of that argument also, and
yeah,
I think we can take our next Twitter question to you, actually, Robert.
Which one is this?
Your hot dogs with ketchup.
Oh yeah. I didn't know that was a Twitter question for this, but yeah, I had a hot dog with ketchup. What do you think of that, Chicago boy?
Oh, I think you should be banned from eating hot dogs.
The good news was there was also mustard on it.
I mean...
I'm sorry, I didn't have any sport peppers. I didn't have any tomatoes. I didn't have any salads.
I eat my hot dogs with just ketchup or just mustard. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I don't put all that stuff on it.
You're gonna go wash your mouth out after having slipped.
I know. I almost lied under oath.
For those of you not aware,
that was Robert's response.
Yeah,
to
in England,
Fisher.
Chicago people like Jack don't put ketchup on their hot dog because apparently it's sacrilege or some crap like that.
Well, it's not so much that you don't put the ketchup on your hot dog, as that a restaurant probably doesn't even have ketchup.
Ugh, God, bunch of heathens. This is why you're the second city and not the first.
Oh, New York with Pizza Rat?
I was just going to say...
Those rats couldn't even pick up our pizza.
I was going to say, I'm not sure if... on a blog dedicated to Aston Villa, I should be making fun of second cities.
Yeah, probably not. But you can make fun of Guzan, who's from Chicago, so we already did that. And Tyler Fisher, another one of the Chicago villains, he always asks us about food, so that's what prompted Robert's answer. But he said, all right, easy one this week. What has been your go-to beer to drown your sorrows this season? And bonus points for an estimate of how much Villa has caused you to drink in excess this campaign.
So what's been your go-to?
Well, usually, at the pub that we go to, the Globe, I've kind of been showing up just like 1 or 2 minutes actually after kickoff lately. Sometimes a couple minutes before, but it's been hard. It's hard to wake up in the morning when you have to go watch Villa. So, long story short, I don't really look at the beer menu and just get usually a Hofbrauhaus Hefeweizen, but I don't know, or a Three Floyds, and it's actually from Indiana, but it's quite popular here.
Yeah, it's a good choice. Good morning beer, good Aston Villa beer. I tend not to drink during the matches. I don't know why. I'm an old man, I think, is why.
It's even an hour later for you. It's almost at noon.
I know. Well, it's at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Ballast Point has gotten me through a lot of this season. I've had a lot of their stuff this year. But I tend to be the kind of person who will get something different every time he goes to the beer store. So I tend not to stick to one thing. And I had a bourbon, but apparently that doesn't get made anymore. So now I'm in search of a go-to bourbon. So I don't know. I tried to be one of those people that settles down with alcohol, and it didn't work.
Yeah, it's not always a good experience, I guess. But you probably could blame that on Villa more than anything else.
I think we can blame everything on Villa.
Couple more questions. We got kind of bombarded by Jonathan Northall. Has Garde failed in his squad selections, failed to use U21 squad, or recall Gary Gardner? And Gary Gardner is someone I just brought up a little bit earlier as someone we probably should be seeing in the team next year, but haven't seen him lately.
Yeah, I would imagine we see him, especially with all the championship experience he's racked up while out on loan.
Yeah.
I would say yes, he has failed in his squad selections. The fact that he does keep using Lescott, who adds nothing to this team. The fact that he keeps using Guzan despite evidence that says, no, Guzan is a pile of rubbish. Yeah, that's failure in your squad selection.
Can you just play 11 outfielders and no goalkeeper? Like, whatever. I mean, I came to the realization last week, maybe 30 minutes into the match, that I don't care about the rest of the season. Just start Andre Green every game for the rest of it. Just see what he can do. Yeah. And why not? And I was really happy when he came on. He didn't have a great game, but you can't expect him to do that right away. It was his debut.
Yeah, totally. I would like to see more of him.
Yeah, and Jay Northall's second question, would you remove Garde away till summer? We kind of answered that. And then is the removal of Almstadt and Fox cost-cutting measures for life in the championship? I'm not sure how much cost-cutting a buyout is, but if you're going to say you're going to fire Fox, who's making $1 million, and then put someone on 120K, yeah, you can consider that cost-cutting.
Yeah, and I hadn't thought of that as, are they just firing him now to get the costs under control? Notice that it came really quickly after we found out how much Fox was making.
Yeah, a shitload too much.
Yeah, well, because he was making more than £1.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was too much. But yeah, I think those were good questions.
What, did you see the poll in the Birmingham Mail how much should Fox should be making, and everyone had voted, and it was like £4.
I love it. Yeah, but thank you for those questions, Jonathan. That was a good string of them.
We got another one from Dave D, or Dave Did 83. As a man who only really has managed Everton, the one to get us out of the championship, talking about David Moyes, of course. And, I think David Moyes isn't a horrible example or a horrible candidate to go after, just because he worked with a limited budget at Everton and still achieved pretty good, moderate success, up to his ceiling. He wasn't ever going to blow anyone out of the water. Obviously, I forgot about Manchester United because he didn't do anything with them. And that's fine for Villa. Just consolidate and spend every year 12th in the Prem and make a cup run sometimes. I guess that's...
Yeah, I suppose at this point as a transitional manager, I'm okay with someone who has a ceiling of 10th or 12th. Because right now, I would take getting promotion out of the championship and becoming solidly mid-table.
Man, I bet he wishes he stayed at Everton. They got a new rich owner. Maybe they would have replaced him anyways, but maybe he still would have been there. Maybe he would have had Lukaku, and maybe he would have been in the Champions League and not just crashing out.
God, yeah, no kidding. But yeah, I think I'd be okay with him just because I don't expect a lot from Aston Villa right now. I don't expect to be challenging for a European position probably in the next 6 or 7 years.
Yeah, I don't even think you expect us to challenge for a promotion playoff slot next season.
I don't. So yeah, I'm okay with someone with a lowish ceiling who has proven that they can manage to work with a budget and work on a shoestring, which Moyes has.
Yeah, something else we got wasn't necessarily a question. It was from Mark Bannister at 1874 FC. Please mention Villa 21 have West Ham at home on the 11th of April. Only £2 to get in. Quite a few are going. 10K or more would be great. And can agree more. It would be amazing to see a lot of people out there supporting the U21s.
Yeah, if I were there, I would go in a heartbeat. Absolutely.
Here, if you can go to paying £2 for something is obviously not an obstacle for anyone.
If someone is listening live or listening to this later, whoever tweets me at 7500_Robert, I will PayPal you the £2 to go to that match. So it is a free match for you, so you can go in my place and yell and be loud. So long as you actually go to the match. I will happily do that. I want to support this. I want the U21s to have a huge blowout crowd.
Exactly. So, it's a good thing. It's young Villa, and it's the future of the club, hopefully.
Yeah. I think they could be fun to watch, too. I think it could be a really fun match. I know that people have been trying to get on that bandwagon for a little while and try that, and I think that's a really cool idea.
And we actually just signed someone who was released from West Ham? The next Gareth Bale. Yeah.
The next Gareth Bale, who proved not to be good enough for West Ham, but should feature in Villa's senior squad next year, which is the most disheartening thing I've read all season.
That's fine. Wasn't he free?
Yeah, but still, the idea of not good enough for West Ham, but probably starting for Villa made me sad.
Yeah, that happens. West Ham's good. West Ham, Man United on the final day of the season could be for a Champions League spot.
Yeah, no, it could be, and it could be interesting, but it still hurts. I mean, because in my mind, they're not good.
No, I mean, just because that should be us, really, though.
Yeah, in my mind, they're still West Ham.
Yep, basically, the better Claret and Blues now.
Yeah, sad. What else we got for tonight?
Well, we had one more from James, a birthday boy, asking which Villa players let you down the most this season.
God. Brad Guzan.
Guzan, that's good.
Only because I had expectations for him. He's not been my least favorite. He's not been the one that's made me most angry. But in terms of what I expected from him versus what I've gotten, he's the one that's let me down the most.
It's hard for me to decide between Jack Grealish just because I expect him to kick on this season and really just become our star.
Mm-hmm.
Or someone like Jordan Ayew, who was in pretty good form until he made one of the stupidest decisions of his life, hopefully, and elbowed Aaron Cresswell right in the nose. And he just hasn't been the same player since, either because he doesn't care, because how could you, or whatever, we're already down, whatever. Or, Micah Richards is atrocious. It's got to be Micah Richards. Sorry.
I
expected him to be like a top 20 center back in the league. That's not too much to ask.
I still will say Brad Guzan. He's been bad, but I didn't expect as much. God, if I were to put this in baseball terms, I expected the league average from Brad Guzan, and I've gotten a AA ball player.
Yeah, no kidding. So, what, top of League One quality? Or
yeah, exactly.
Championship?
Yeah.
He's been terrible.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, we were just speaking a little bit about the future with the youth team and some of the players, but let's talk a little bit about the past, Robert. You wrote a whole history article today.
Made me happy to see this. Today was the 20-year anniversary of winning a League Cup. League Cup. God, the way I said that, I was suddenly feeling like I was saying Premiership. But yeah, winning the League Cup 20 years ago today. A young James Rushton was turning 3, having himself a lovely birthday blowout at which I'm sure his parents were ignoring him in favor of watching the telly for Villa.
Probably slamming his face into the cake, which that's really, though, it sucks that you can't remember your childhood, because that probably is just an amazing feeling.
Oh, I'm sure. Actually, now that you say that, cakes are pretty cheap. I feel like that could be the next...
It's nothing like being a kid and slamming your face into something and discovering it's just squishy and just tastes delicious, and, it's...
We could probably get a cake for like $10 each, and that could be the next episode of the whole cast.
Oh my gosh.
Brought to you by Cake Face.
Sponsored. Fuck.
But yeah, so go onto the site. There's not really much to say. It was a League Cup. It was great. It was a 3-0 win over Leeds United. But if you go to the site, the entire match is up on YouTube, and we've got it up there so you can watch it. You can see glory. You can see Savo Milosevic score. You can see, God, it's wonderful. It's a joy to watch. It will soothe your nerves and make your day better.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. It's always fun to go back and either watch the 57 FA Cup maybe is my favorite. With Peter McParlin just bruising the goalkeeper in just ways that you couldn't even do in rugby these days. But I don't know. I mean, of course, the European Cup victory is special, but that's just like watching Villa these days. They're totally, Bayern was a totally better team, and it was just biting your nails the whole time, and then Peter Wiss scores with his shin.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's amazing. I don't know. It's like a Benteke kind of stealing a result, but it's not like Villa didn't deserve to be there. And I guess to be fair, they deserve where they're at now.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, it's worth it. Go watch it on the site. It'll make your day better. I promise.
Yeah, and I mean, even someone as young as James, who I guess is only a year younger than me, but at least Villa have won a trophy in our lifetime.
Yay! That's more than I can say for my other favorite sports team, the Seattle Mariners.
I like the Cubs.
That's true.
They haven't even won. I don't even think anyone's been alive when they won.
I thought there was like one or two people left.
Well, they don't remember it because of either on either end of the spectrum. Either they're too young or now they're too old. So. Yep,
that's fair. All right, that's fair. So yeah, welcome to the Misery Cast. We're here.
Yeah. Sorry about that. But happy note on the end. No Villa this weekend. So like we mentioned before, you don't have to wake up or start drinking at maybe 8 in the morning or 3 in the morning, maybe if you're in like the Solomon Islands. I don't know.
If it's 8 in the morning for you, it would be 4 in the morning in Hawaii.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe midway it'd be 3 in the morning. Who knows? Yeah, one thing we did want to mention was our friends at Unusual Efforts. They have a Kickstarter, an Indiegogo, and they are really something that's deserving of funding. It's a women's only, or only women are going to be writing about football or producing things about football art, and it's a project that's really deserving, so you can check them out. And if there's anything you want to add on that, Robert?
Yeah, started by our very own Kirsten Schlevitz and Sonia Misio. Just an absolutely fantastic project. Football by women for everyone.
And they're not only covering women's games. I want to clear that up, or women's sport. It's just something that needs to be done. They're trying to do it because if you look at the statistics, only about less than 10% of people covering football or working in football are women.
Yeah,
and that's
absolutely.
not representative of the population.
And those who are getting consistently mistreated by clubs, by players, by front offices, by their news organizations.
Media networks, yeah.
Yeah, it is an absolutely horrible system. And they are working to correct that. They're working to pay their writers, pay their artists. They are working to put out a fantastic product, including a print journal. And I can say without a doubt that there is no football project right now more deserving of your support than Unusual Efforts. And you can find them on Twitter at Unusual Efforts.
Or tweet us and we'll direct you to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, I mean, I think that's all we have for this episode. Maybe we'll have a pod for you next week. If Rémi Garde gets fired, we'll have a pod next week. If not, maybe we won't. Yeah. Is that right, Robert?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
All right, but until then, you can follow us on 7500toholt.com. We won't have any match coverage for you, unfortunately, so you won't get to interact with Robert at 7500toholt on Twitter because he's usually doing the match coverage, but you can still find us, obviously, on Facebook as well as Twitter, and wherever you listened or watched this, you can do so again as usual. So I guess that's going to be the end of our episode, and you're going to have to hear an ad at the end, so thanks for doing that for us. But anyways, for Robert Lintott, I'm Jack Grimsey, and this has been the Holtcast.